Hi, I'm Sheila Rondeau, and I'm the CEO of MOGXP. MOGXP is an experiential marketing company that brings together consumers and brands and creates memorable moments. Our podcast is Legends in Leadership, and today's guest is Ollie Chandhok. And Ollie is the editor of the Dallas Business Journal. And when we look at the Dallas Business Journal, we look at it truly is at the core of business in this community. It is where you find out anything and everything you need to know. Plus, you guys do so much more. So first of all, Ollie, thank you for being here. And my question to you is, what gets you up every morning? When you are walking into the Dallas Business Journal, you are touching so many lives. Where do you start? What do you do? And what makes it worth it?
Well, Sheila, first off, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here and join you for this conversation. One of the things that often happens, I'm actually the publisher and president of the Business Journal, but this happens all the time. No, you're totally fine. It happens daily almost. Our editor-in-chief is Will Anderson, and he runs the newsroom. He reports to me. So essentially, I have a foot in both sides of the house. I operate the business piece and then also spend a little bit of time in the newsroom with Will and team. What gets me up in the morning, and I'll probably say this a few times, it is the community. It's exactly what's happening out there. We have the privilege of being able to highlight the success stories, to tell the news of what's happening in our workplace, in our forum. And it's a privilege, honestly. It's exciting to find out what happened today. It's exciting to deliver this to readers that really care and are super engaged. And so going to work every morning, if you even want to call it that, is pretty easy to do because it's not the same every day. But most importantly, we are very, very connected to the community out here, and it's wonderful.
So the Business Journal isn't just a newspaper or a publication. It is truly a community. It's my understanding and I've been present for some of your events, but also you have things like the Business Journal Leadership Trust. Tell me about some of the things that you are passionate about.
Sheila, you nailed it. You're absolutely right. When I walk up on stage at some of our bigger, grander events, one of the things that I make a point of sharing is we sort of, our friends sometimes forget that we're not just a newspaper or a website. More importantly, we serve to connect people in the community, connect specifically business people, and we do it in various ways. And like you said, we've done these big signature event programs. We recognize success there. We do the Leadership Trust, where there are communication forums and the ability to provide content and thought leadership. Most importantly, all of that ties together with the people and the connections that we make happen. Hopefully, we're making this happen by providing the platform. So it transcends everything we do. When we put something on the website or in an email, the goal there is to hopefully have somebody take some of that information and make it actionable. Can they use that information to connect with somebody else to hopefully do business or to solve a problem? And if we can do that effectively every single day, we're doing our job. And so really, to go back to what I was saying, I walk up on stage and I want people to understand that, hey, we're here to connect you, each and every single one of you, with each other in the business community. And that ultimately is what we do. So not just a newspaper.
Right. The newspaper as a whole, kids are told don't bother to go to journalism school because at this point, there aren't newspapers really to work at. But that's different in the Business Journal because it's not just a newspaper. It truly is the culmination of people and events happening and business happening, but ideas are being shared. And there's just a passion in this community for its businesses. But the Business Journal is such a big piece of that.
Yeah, you're right on. The number of folks that graduate from a journalism school is amazing. There is a passion out there for it. It can be challenging in traditional media. We've evolved. We've certainly evolved. Now, my friends at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram and the Dallas Morning News, we're all really closely connected behind the scenes. But you've nailed it. You've pinpointed us. We do a little bit more than just providing the news, and I think all media traditional print media has to do a little bit more nowadays, which is pretty obvious. Digital has become a big part of what we do, but we ask a lot of our journalists across all of those media groups. We ask them to be involved in the community. We ask them to speak on panels, to do fireside chats. We just want them to be plugged into the community. They have a lot to offer. They have a lot to share. They have a lot of knowledge. The only way to do that is not just behind a screen, right? They sort of have to be out there in the community and relating with the folks. And on the flip side, they're gathering information from the community that they can actually use. And again, I used this term before, but they can turn it into actionable information. And so things have changed in the world of journalism, as everybody knows. It's not just sitting behind the computer and writing a story that they want to pursue. We ask a lot more of those folks, and they keep coming out of J School. We keep seeing them constantly. We have a few open spots at the Biz Journal now, and there are no shortage of resumes. So it's a very good thing. It's just a different world.
I'm sure it makes you look at your up and coming, the new hires that you have, and those who have been there a handful of years. That COVID period where they didn't get a chance to be around people and get those skills, and you have the opportunity now to take them and teach them and mentor them. And what is your biggest challenge in that?
You know, I don't think this is unique to us or to media in general. I think everybody dealt with this sort of absenteeism during COVID, where you didn't have a newer, younger, I'll say, journalist connected with somebody more seasoned and more experienced. And so it was very difficult to create connections, to create mentorship opportunities, just very difficult to maintain the culture within our organization, right? Just like everybody else. And so it wasn't unique to us, but coming out of the pandemic era, if you want to call it that, we learned a whole bunch of different things that are serving us very well now. We're sitting in a television studio. We learned how to do video. I never once thought that I would be hosting an event on camera, right? And it's become something we do every single day now. So we uncovered these ways to deliver our information and again, connect with the community that are very non-traditional. So we ask our journalists to be on video. We ask them to do panel discussions, like I said earlier. The world changed and in a very good way in terms of the media platforms that we use. Now, to go back to the connectivity, that was difficult. And so now, and only now, this is late 2024, I think I've said this 10 times since 2020. I feel like we're getting back to normal, if there's such a thing. There are connections happening in our office. They're sitting together. I see it every day, and it's very exciting to see because I'm old school. I go to the office every single day, and it's great to see the people interacting and connecting. And we have people begging for that. So we have a candidate right now that's considering joining us very soon. And she said to me in an interview, are there people in the office because I want to be part of that? And this is a recent college graduate. So it's sort of refreshing to hear that. And I think a lot of those people that are in that segment that were in college or recently graduated in that 2020, 21 to 22 year, I think most of them are hoping to connect with more seasoned people just to create pathways for their career. And so it's exciting to see now, and I'm sure I'll say it again every single year, we're getting closer to normal, right? If there's such a thing.
Yeah. I am seeing it in my office. Mm-hmm. We are remote. We're from all over the country, but we still have a handful of people in different pockets. And we have very young, inexperienced team members who have so much potential. And then we have some very senior members who have done so much in their careers. And sometimes you're concerned that they don't communicate the same. But it is amazing how these folks sit together and they feed off of the energy for each other because they learn so much. So our oldest team member is learning from our youngest in how to set this up on his computer and how are you doing this and what are you doing? But that young team member is listening to the stories and the successes and learning how to network and how to interact and the decorum you use in working with people and how you interact and the awe on his face when he's talking to this person and the introductions are being made is just amazing.
It is very cool. And we've actually been pretty intentional at the Business Journal in Dallas specifically to make formal pairings almost. So we have, like you said, we have some very senior people that are thriving. They're doing great. They sort of weathered that storm of the COVID era pandemic. And then we have folks that are very green, fresh out of college or 2 or 3 years in the workforce. And we, on both sides of our house. So on the business operation, we've paired senior level salespeople with newer salespeople. These aren't not necessarily fresh out of college, just newer to our organization. And they're both thriving. And to your point, there's learning both ways. So our senior level folks are picking up some technology tricks. They're picking up ways to build a database that we didn't use before. And then on the flip side, of course, they're sort of the newer folks are learning cadence and timing and how to connect with people. And you can see this happening tangibly. And it's awesome to see. The newsroom is exactly the same way. We have some very senior level people who many in the community probably know their names. And we have a whole slew of folks that are just brand new and just getting started. And just to sit there and be able to ask one of the senior folks, how do I deliver this? Is this the right way to say this? What do I say on the phone call? It's awesome. It's awesome to see. So for me, I sort of sit in the middle of it all, and I'm sitting there watching this happen. It's great to see them interact. It's great to see the results that are yielded from that connection. And so I'm personally very happy we're all connected and back together.
It's been fun. With your industry, it's constantly evolving. It is changing the media side of it, but also the business side of it. So what's next? What's new?
So there's always something new in our world, as you know. One of the things that we do, I'll say it's unique to the business journals, to American City business journals. A very, very large part of our business is events. Again, to go back to the community connections, we've figured out ways to connect people beyond just the information. And this is the first thing I said when we started talking. That continues to grow rapidly, and it's sort of indicates a desire for that in the community. And now it's different in some cities. Here in Dallas or North Texas, people love the connections. I know some of my peers across the country, the events piece is not necessarily the largest part of our business. For us, it has grown to become about the same size as the print and digital operations. So we spend a lot of time focused there. There are a lot of innovations in terms of the way we do events. So everybody's familiar with the Women in Business Awards and the Best Places to Work, those programs. We've started doing more private events, more VIP programs where we can connect executives, where it's typically very difficult to get them to attend a 500-person event. If we have private dinners and gatherings and publish content from that discussion at the dinner, the executives show up. And so our partners, our sponsors are very pleased with the way we've innovated in terms of our programming. Much like every other industry, technology is a big determinant. We apply AI in some instances. The way that we deliver our morning and afternoon edition emails, tons of technology involved there. Your email might be a little different than mine in terms of what you see first and what I see first. Now, we go back and forth on if that is effective or not. Sometimes the human judge, I guess I'll call it, is more effective than our AI, right? So we are still learning that piece of it, and it'll evolve just like every other industry, but we're doing everything we can to keep up and sort of stay ahead of that so that we can provide for our audience.
When you are talking to some of your young journalists and young team members, whether it's necessarily in the business aspect or in the journalism, there are a lot of lessons that you want to teach them. It's kind of like you want to take the top of their head off and just pour all these things and all these life lessons in. What is that one nugget you want every one of them to walk away with? So
it always goes back to people, right? And so I was just at a lunch meeting here talking to a client, not even one of our staffers, client, partner, friend. And we were talking about, we talked all about various things we could do together. And what it all came down to is the people, right? Like we deliver the people, but we also engage with the people. And so when I talk to our younger reporters, our younger salespeople, my message to them is you control your activity. It's one of the things you can control, and activity is directed at the people. So go somewhere, go outside, go to events, go to lunches, go to things with the mission of connecting with people. We actually, if you think about what the Business Journal does, and if let's say we're selling a subscription or a membership to the Business Journal, or we're selling advertising, when you walk away, you have nothing to hold. There's nothing tangible there, right? Essentially what we're selling is the ability to connect with the people in your community. Mm-hmm. And that's all we have. And so for my team, if they don't know the people, or if they're not connected to the people, we have nothing. We don't have anything to sell. We don't have anything to write about. And so that is always the message. It's always been the message. And I learned this a long time ago when I got into this business, almost 2 decades ago now. You got to connect with the folks, and people is everything for us.
We believe in it. The reason I do live events is because nothing changes habits more than putting people in the same room, letting them learn from each other's experiences, let them take the risk out of it by feeling something, touching it, tasting it, and engaging to walk away with some type of memorable moment that allows you to stay connected. And it is the reason you will remember that person, you will remember that brand, you will remember that company. You remember how they make you feel.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the things too, sort of an offshoot to the conversation about the people with our people, I just this sprang back up to me. I have this conversation with all of our new folks all the time, and it's always about building your own personal brand, right? Like the Dallas Business Journal has been in the community here for 47 years. People know DBJ. I couldn't tell you how many people have worked for DBJ across 47 years. I know I'm publisher number 6, I think it is. But we've had thousands, right? And how do you differentiate yourself? How do you build your personal brand? I'm not talking about the Dallas Business Journal. I'm not talking about I work for Ollie or Randy or whoever it may be. You have to establish your own personal brand, right? And that can happen in many different ways. It has to be authentic. It has to be built the way that you build it, right? For me, it was being very forward at events and connecting to people and talking with people and spending time with them. It might be different for a reporter. But really, the ultimate goal is to establish your brand in the community in order to succeed. Without that brand, people don't know you, people can't connect with you, and you can't build a network until that happens, right? And so I feel like that's also a very important component of maybe more specific to the Business Journal. I know with other industries, it might not be as elevated, but for us, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're an editor, a reporter, without the personal brand, you can't achieve what we're trying to achieve. You just can't.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much for your insights. So when we start looking at what's next for Ollie, you've been doing this for several decades. What's next?
I didn't say several decades. 17 years. Yeah, I'm getting there. I don't know what's next, honestly. That is honest truth. I love what I do. People have asked me that. What's your next step? Essentially American City Business Journals is a very, very large organization, but we operate in 44 different cities, right? So beyond my role is our C-suite, and I don't necessarily know if that's something that I ever want to pursue. And part of that is the reason for that is you sort of give up your connectivity to the community, right? You become a corporate employee, and the thing I love best is this. That I love going to programs. I like being involved in Dallas and Fort Worth, and if I move into something else, I'm losing that touch with the community. I'm almost terrified to think about it. It's a weird feeling. I couldn't imagine sitting behind a desk all day or something like that. It's just not for me. In terms of personal, my daughter is about to go to college, or she's a rising senior in high school this year. So we're looking at colleges and all of those things. And so family-wise, there could be some very recent or very future next steps that are right around the corner in terms of where we live and all those kind of things. But in terms of professionally, I love this. I love this.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So this has been another episode of Legends in Leadership. Today, our guest was Ollie Chandhok, and Ollie has been such an influence in this community through the Dallas Business Journal, through his events, through the time that he gives. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheila, for having me. I really, really enjoyed the conversation.
As did I.
Yeah.
Thank you.